Yay, oh no, myself with AI. I feel like this will be the very near future. It's just like, there'll be no humans left on Earth, and every single video game would have turned to an AI thing. It's because it's the demo. I'm not paying $3. Like, it may be petty, but I'm not paying $3 for Uno. Like, who really cares? This is a game you played as a kid, and it just caused mass arguments, and you just started yelling and screaming at your siblings because I don't know, they put like a draw 2 on a draw 2, and apparently that's not a thing. Like, I don't know. So if you're wondering where I've been, you're probably not, and I'm not going to tell you. Just kidding, I'll tell you because I'm a nice guy. I've been traveling across country. I drove like, it was something like honestly like 35 hours in like 3 days, and it was quite a lot. So I was moving, if you really want to know, I was moving. So that's why I haven't uploaded or anything. So I don't really think anyone cares, but that's where I've been and what I've been doing. I wanted to talk about a few things I had on my mind while I was moving, just because it's interesting, and that's what I have been doing for the past 6 months. The one thing, the Liver King came out, and pretty much he didn't admit, because, you know, the classic YouTuber apology, you can't just straight up admit to the crime. You have to like lean into it and very clearly incite that you may or may not have done something wrong. I don't know what that means. So pretty much what happened, if you don't know, was Liver King, super crazy ripped guy. He's like 5'7" and 300 pounds. I don't know his BMI. He's like beet red all the time, which he claims is from the sun. We all know now it's from his $15,000 a month steroid bill. A channel named More Plays More Dates pretty much exposed him, like indefinite proof that was like pretty much just saying that he used steroids, used performance enhancing, and didn't tell anyone and just claimed to be natural. So that's pretty funny. Like, it was pretty obvious from the start that he was at least on something. There's a lot of like allegations that he had implants, like abdominal implants, like ab implants. I never thought that. I just thought he was at least on something. I'm like, no way, this guy's natural. Like, that's insane. But yeah, and it was like, it turned out his thing was like his bill for steroids was like 15 grand a month. And then what's really interesting is that he could like write that off. If he just like claimed not to be natural, he could just write it off and say, yeah, I'm like not natural, and this is my, like, this is all the steroids I use. It's in his video, so you can just write it off on taxes, man. Like, that is so humongous brain. Like, I don't know why he didn't do that. Anyways, he's an idiot. There wasn't really much else that happened with it besides him just like continuing to upload the same content and be like, this is the only way to live, just stuff full of steroids. Yeah, it's pretty funny though. But he needs to do the classic YouTuber apology, which he's already done like half of. Admit that you did something wrong, take a month break, come back, speak about how it affected your life poorly for like 2 seconds in a video. Don't speak about it again, and then talk to people about how to benefit from living a clean, pure life, and then continue to do it under the table and eventually get caught again. You know, it's just the way to go. It's just like the better way to go. I think that's just like the best way to go and the only way to go. So the main thing I wanted to talk about was a thought I had. It was actually quite interesting. So I figured out, it was something like, I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was about 7 or like 10% of Americans believe that brown cows make chocolate milk. I don't know if you've heard that before, but that's like a legit statistic, which just means that, I don't know, Americans have dummy brain. Like, they're just like inherently stupid. Like 10% of people, like, you're telling me I could put what is that, 10 people in a room, and one of those people would like so solemnly believe that brown cows make chocolate milk? That is idiotic. Anyways, what I've been researching though is actually a way that cows could not make chocolate milk, but probably make milk that tasted like chocolate milk. Here's my thought process. So cows, if you don't know, and I didn't know until I researched it, depending on what they eat will change the flavor of their milk, like very subtly. So like if they eat like a lot of like green, it'll usually come out like a certain way. If they eat like a lot of grass, it'll come out like more naturally, like a different way. So over the years, cows have been fed certain things to make the milk taste the best. So I'm saying, why don't we just start feeding cows cocoa beans and sugar, or just straight up chocolate milk or chocolate syrup? And theoretically, if the cow could survive on that, like if you just implemented that into their diet, theoretically, it would make milk that tasted slightly chocolatey. I don't know if this is like, I think this is pretty concrete, but it's just the fact that like I don't think cows can eat straight up cocoa beans and sugar 24 meals a day, like 3 meals a day for 24 hours. But I think it's still interesting to think about because they can eat, like, because the milk changes depending on what they eat, like very subtle flavoring. So if you just had like one strain of cow for the next like 10 years, and you like had a heavy I don't know, like you like heavily implemented like cow beans and sugar into their diet, and it would make their milk like sweeter and more and like slightly chocolatey. I think it would more taste like just regular milk that had I don't know, that had like an undertone of like cocoa powder, because like I don't think it'd be like actually sweet, because like raw milk is usually like I don't know exactly how raw milk tastes, but I would assume it's not crazy sweet. But yeah, that's my theory. I think it's an interesting theory. I think it would work. I don't think there's much scientific evidence backing it up, but I think that's because no one's ever tried it. Like you look at all the great inventors of today, of this last generation, and almost all of them, there's no scientific evidence, and they just went out there and did something. I think that's very important. Anyways, that's my biggest thought. Just a thought I had while I was driving 35 hours across the country was, could you make chocolate milk from cows, and all those dumb Americans aren't dumb anymore? It's quite interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I had. Have a good day.